Hi everybody, and welcome to Juma Game Reserve this morning. A tad chilly, but I'm hoping the clouds are going to disperse and it's going to be beautiful this morning. I was hoping we were going to get a wonderful sunrise this morning, but the clouds just covered that section as we were going live there. But my name's Tara, and joining me on camera this morning is Sebastian, and back in front control is Mark. So I'm hoping we're going to have a great morning. I'm going to head up to where we left covering the cubs. I'm not sure if they're still going to be there. There was a little bit of a kill left last night, but they might have moved on. They might have gone to drink water. So if anybody has seen them around Gary Dam, then please let me know. But I thought we'd just head up there, see what how the land lies with them, see if they are still there or not, and maybe even see if we can find a few tracks. I do have the casting kit, so hopefully if we do find some tracks, then I can cast them, and hopefully a few more dung quizzes along the way. So let's jump aboard and see if we have some luck. Otherwise we're going to start heading off into the east possibly, or down towards the hyenas. I'm not entirely sure as yet. Let's see what happens. That is the beauty of being live. We don't know what's going to happen this morning. We can have a look for things, try and follow tracks if there are any. Let's have a look. Good morning all stations, anyone mobile this morning? So I would like to actually drop down towards Gary Dam at some stage, see if the baboons are around. We did catch up with them yesterday briefly, dropped by, and they actually were a little bit more relaxed than they normally are. Possibly because they were actually feeding rather than heading off somewhere. So we are on day 5 of the Dung quiz, and the drives are counting down now. We've got 4 more drives with me. There is live. Good morning. Haven't heard anything so far. I'm on my way towards where Wool and Pans were last night. See if they're still around.
Okay, thanks very much. Got also gonna head that way.
Copy. I'll see you there.
Okay.
Growing clips.
How you see yours, Mara?
Very well, thank you. You just heading out?
Yeah, we'll be making my brother and back.
Yeah, I'm just on the go shortcut. I'm heading up towards where we left Kuala Lumpur Pans last night, see if they're still around. Copy that. If you see your fluffies, can you let me know?
Yeah, I think they're off after everything this morning.
Copy, yeah, I didn't do a turnaround there. I just wanted to head up and maybe drop down a bit later. Copy, thank you very much. I must admit I was expecting a little bit more of a storm last night, but I don't think it actually came. It fizzled itself out. This is usually a good spot for any animal. I haven't seen any honey badger tracks for a little while. At last station, can you confirm Wichingala? Copy, thank you. Wichingala? Copy, thank you very much. So, the 5 Salalas are over in Chicken. Five lionesses who have been here quite a lot, and they seem to be walking up and down east to west, west to east. We were sort of discussing that with a few of the guides on Sunday, and if you haven't been able to watch on Sunday the fireside chat, then Sept has been working extremely hard to try and get the fireside chat out.
It's just because of the power cuts yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, so the t-shirt making video is up on YouTube and Facebook, so if you haven't seen us making the t-shirts for the Rhino course, then that's out, but there was a few power cuts yesterday, so the video is ready to be loaded, so hopefully once we get back from drive you'll be able to see that as well. I'm going to try and put it on the actual player, so if you stay on for a few minutes, then you'll see the fireside chat and the t-shirt printing actually on this channel. So Seb's going to load it on there, but you have to give him a few minutes to get back and to get it sorted. So it'll probably be at within about the hour and a half, something like that, Ted.
Yeah.
Something like that. So you'll be able to watch it on this stream as well. And if you are interested in buying a t-shirt, then the auction is still going on. It's on until Sunday afternoon, 6 o'clock it closes, Sunday afternoon, and we'll announce the winners after that on drive. So the last half an hour of drive will announce the winners. So if you would still like to bid for a t-shirt, then you can go onto Facebook and you can bid underneath that. I've put the pictures up of each t-shirt, so you just put your bid underneath that. If you want to remain anonymous or you don't have Facebook, then all you need to do is send an email to questions@juma.com and put in the subject line bid and what bid and what name you'd like to go on with that bid. Or if you want to remain anonymous, then just say you want to remain anonymous and we can put the bid in just like a telephone call. So we can put the bid in for you. So we'll try that. And if you want to see the t-shirts, then there is a blog out on Juma webpage, www.juma.com. Here's the pictures, or there are the pictures there. If you haven't had a chance to see it, I've got a couple with me that I'll be able to show you. Maybe Mark can have a quick look under each t-shirt and tell me what the bids are at the moment. XL large by Mark I think we're sitting at $250. Has that gone up, Mark? Oh, it has gone up. Oh, it is $250. We are still here. Good morning, Karula. Oh, and Kill is in the tree. Back end. So that is what's left. So there's actually still quite a little bit left. Back end and a little bit of the ribs. The stations, the lock of the Ingwe is still in the same place, just on fire break at the top of Mvubu Road. There she goes. I'm just going to pull it out the tree. If we do have any new viewers, this is our resident female leopard, and she really is quite a special lady. This is Karula, and she never ceases to amaze me. Actually, there's a lot of people across the world who absolutely adore this lady, and for very good reason. She's an incredible mum. We've got 2 cubs at the moment. I think Sebastian was on one of them. I can't actually see the cubs from where I am. I'll have to go down and have a look, see if they're there. Around the other side, out in the open. But they're about 10 months old now, born about mid-November last year. But she has succeeded in raising her first 2 litters successfully. And she's doing extremely well with these cubs to get them to 10 months, and hopefully she'll continue with that. And the cub mortality is extremely high, and that's what makes it even more incredible. The fact that since she was about 2.5, she had her first litter. She's now 7 with her 3rd litter, and she's had 100% success rate so far. Really quite incredible. Oh, is that where he's sitting? Him or her. Should go around the front and just see. I was hoping she was going to have another go. But it looks like she was actually trying to pull the carcass down again, because that's not going to be an easy place to feed from. So I think she was actually trying to pull it down. Maybe there was the hint of hyena around last night. It was extremely windy. We actually left them last night about 6 o'clock or so, and the wind was really starting to pick up, and as I say, I thought there was a huge storm coming in, and then it all blew itself out. We're bark and no bite. Let's see what this little one's watching. It's alright, Karina. A bit jumpy there. Just go up a little bit further on the road because I want to see what this little one's watching. Sorry? She's watching?
Franklin.
Oh, Franklin. Ah, there's the other one. Looks like it's little Shavinzi coming up to meet her brother. I want to see her when she walks up to her mother. Okay, I'm just going to pull around a little bit more. Oh, no I'm not. No, I just want to pull forward a bit so we can see that. She's going around the back. Yeah. Affirmative, the Ingwe is still here, same place, just myself at the moment. You can actually see quite nicely how much lighter he is compared to his sister, Shavinzi. She's just got up, walking over to Mum now. And all what you're seeing is extremely important. This is their school. Actually learning the techniques that they're going to use for actually hunting. Just the pouncing and chasing after each other. And even the swiping at each other. You see, she's also going to try and pull it down now, look. Oh, that could have ended quite nastily. Just goes to show how agile they actually are. I'm even just chasing after squirrels and climbing trees and jumping from the trees is all building up the muscles and building up their skills. Just going to go and pounce on the brother now. I can see a tail twitching. No, something else caught her eye. Oh, what have you got? She's got something. If we do have any new viewers on board this morning, if you'd like to send through any questions, then questions@juma.com is the place to send them. It's attacking a bush. Looked at the tree and decided, nah, maybe not. Too much effort. Let's attack the bush instead. Now, especially for this little boy, that stance there and kicking with his back legs might actually help him when it comes to fighting over territory with another male. Even the female will have to fight at some stage, but certainly when a cat rolls over like that and starts kicking with its back legs, it's quite a powerful posture when they are fighting, because they can use their claws and actually scratch at the belly. There is a very big character difference between him and his sister. This is little Shivambalana. And he tends to hang back a little bit more and just check the situation, whereas Shavinzi does tend to jump in with both feet sometimes. If ever you wondered how the spots are going to help the leopard hide away, look at that. You can barely make out where the head is, where the tail is, where the body is. But he's very much a mummy's boy. He's usually the first to respond to her. Ooh! There's the yellow-billed stork flying over that we had yesterday at Gary Dam. And that's what he's watching. Easiest way you can see really nicely, even from this distance away, those two spots above the whisker line, quite large, side by side. And you can see the black mark from his eye goes horizontal, whereas his sister actually goes vertical. And it's very true, a leopard doesn't change its spots as it gets older. Just as they become larger, the spots just move slightly, so the whole pattern just becomes enlarged. Watch little boy. He's gonna jump on. He's looking to try and pounce. He's trying to stalk his sister. She's gonna stalk him as well. There we go. And so she finished whatever it was that she found. go up and round again. Best levelling I can do. How's that for a family portrait? You can see quite nicely the size difference between Shavinzi and her brother. Oh no, it's a heron. No battery. Oh, mind to charge my battery over a day and a half and it's not charged. Morning.
No fluffy faces.
No. Oh, okay.
Oh my god. Oh. How you little girl.
Mm. Hi Linda, good morning to you and welcome on board this morning. Wanting to know how long the cubs will remain with Karula. Well, that's anyone's guess really. I mean, this little girl who's looking at us right now, little Shavinzi, she's pretty independent, she's pretty bold.
This TR is hogging.
Huh? Have you not got a good view there?
That's fine.
Oh. But I wouldn't be surprised if she did leave earlier than her brother. Her brother still seems to be quite dependent on his mum. He kind of stays put wherever she's left him. But I think we might have to move because I think Texan wants to come in. Might have to move and then come back again. But it could be in the next couple of months, probably unlikely. It could be in the next couple of months. Or it could be in the next 8, 9, 10, 12 months. Just depends on the individual. It depends on when they feel it's ready to go, when they feel that they can make it on their own. And I think if they stick around too long, then Karula might just push them out, although she hasn't done it with Misha and Induna. Texan, come in. Texan, come in. You see, Mishu, her son from the last litter, about 3 years old, he's left the area, but in doing, he's still around, and he still comes to share some of the kills with Karula. Texan, come in. Even at this age, they're going to be hunting small things. Franklin and lizards and mice, other rodents, scrub hares maybe. And I think this little girl was actually trying to hunt a steenbok the other night. And she probably is about the right size that she could pull a steenbok down, but I think she did lack experience on her side. But if she keeps trying, I think, you know, she could be successful. She has that character from her mother. She definitely has no fear. But that could work against her. Whereas her brother, as I say, tends to be a little bit more cautious, and he tends to work things out a little bit more. Texan, come in.
Morning, go ahead.
Morning, Texan. Are you wanting to come into the Ingwe lock?
Sorry, come again?
I confirm, are you wanting to come into the Ingwe lock?
Yeah, Sam, this is going to be a cut, but I'm going to be checking throughout them and come around. So we'll start.
Copy. I can make space for you if you want to come in now, or if you're going to go down to Treehouse Dam, maybe just let me know when you're coming close.
Fine, I'll give you a shout if I get started, but I'll check throughout them, maybe in the car and come back.
Are you sure? Because I can pull out now for you if you want. I remember this Impala is not too long after the other Impala we saw. It's probably been about, what, five, maybe 6 days since she had the last Impala. And I think that's possibly why it's taken them a little bit longer to eat. Just remember, the last Impala only took them about a day and a bit to finish off. And we're on, what, day 2? It was found, not yesterday, the day before, so we're actually getting on to day 2. She's definitely got those mothering instincts. Definitely seen her grooming her brother more than we've seen him groom her. Go on, Karula. Hi Gilly, good morning to you. Interesting question there, and talking about Intima. And for those of you who haven't heard, unfortunately Intima, who we very rarely see, I think we've seen her once or twice in the year and a half that I've been here. I've not met her yet. She's another female, and she has lost pretty much all her cubs, bar one, since 4 years, or maybe even more actually. There is only one known surviving cub so far, and he's about 4 years old. And I think she's lost something like 6 or 7 litters in the meantime. And Gilly wants to know, why does she not fight for them? It seems that Karula would defend the cubs if any male tried to come along and kill them. And leopards do have different personalities. I mean, you've got some leopards who would probably fight to the death for her cubs, and you've got some leopards that would rather save her own skin and survive another day than come up against a male leopard. And it's very difficult to really say if she has tried to defend the cubs or not. It could be that she's tried in the past and it's not helped her, so maybe this time it happened before she could do anything. Maybe she was slightly further away from the cubs. It's very difficult to really say for sure whether or not there was any defending going on. But certainly personality of the leopard will come into play, circumstances. And we have unfortunately heard about Whitecloth last year being killed because she defended her son, who was just over a year and a bit. And also, we were just talking about it on the fireside chat as well, and Tima has this unfortunate problem that she has 4 males who can possibly be on her territory Whereas Karula's really she's got 3, but the majority of her territory overlaps with Yambidi or Dan. So it does seem to be a little bit more stable, and she seems to be mating with him rather than the other 2 boys. Now Mvula is pushing in from the west, from the east. He's pushing further west into her territory and reducing Yambini or Dan's territory on that side, quite possibly. Mafafignan comes in from the south, but especially this area where we're in now is very, very deep inside Yambidi or Dan's area. And that could have a lot to do with it. Maybe she's just realised, and apparently she was seen mating with Msengwena and Mafafignan. So she was actually seen mating with a couple of males, possibly in the hope that maybe her cubs will survive, because both males might think that they're theirs. But it's very unusual, and Mafafignan has been around the cubs just like Yambini or Dan has with Karula and the cubs, and yet he was the one that seems to have killed Ntima's 2 cubs. You see, anchoring it with what would be the equivalent of our thumb. You see that claw going right into the neck there, holding it still so he can use his shearing teeth, his cheek teeth.
Jumping out of the trail, heading south.
Hi Amber, and good morning to you. And quite a difficult one to answer really, when no one's really too sure. So Amber wants to know how males tell the difference between their cubs and somebody else's cubs. And I think a lot of it has got to do with them mating, and obviously remember they're mating with the female, and I think that does have a lot to do with it. And I think with the female maybe being accepting towards the males when they do approach. But it could be that they do smell them. I mean, it has been proven that baboons can recognise through smell their own offspring. So I can't see why leopards couldn't do the same. But I don't think it's actually been proven. I don't know if there's any research out there that's trying to prove it one way or another. Oh, there's a batalier flying over. I wonder if it's going to spot the leopard in the tree. Probably has done. Oh, flying off. So definitely quite a difficult one to really answer there, because as I say, no one's really too sure. But I think possibly a bit of both. You know, we can't really begin to imagine what the world is like having such a fantastic sense of smell. I mean, the cats, okay, they've not got as great a sense of smell as some of the other animals, but they've still got a better sense of smell than we have. You can see where that long tail really comes into play. You can see it counterbalance him the whole time. And as we go further and further into summer, we're going to be seeing probably more female impala being killed and eaten, more so than the male impala, because this time of year they are becoming slightly slower because of the extra weight that they're carrying. They're a couple of months off from giving birth, and then during the height of summer we're going to see baby impala being taken because it's easier prey. So depending on where you are in the season will dictate, maybe, as someone was asking the other day, whether more female or more male impala are going to be taken. As we're saying with the male impala during the rut, around March, April, May, they become a little bit less alert about what's going on around them and more focused on mating, so it makes them a slightly easier prey. think a lot of people are going down to try and see the Salalas who are down at Cheetah Plains. That's where all the interference is coming on the radio. And just look at the balance that's going on there. It really goes to show how agile these cats really are. I can't even begin to imagine that that's any way comfortable to eat. But they do. And the whole reason why it's up the tree is to keep out of reach from other predators, especially hyenas, and lions possibly would climb that tree, but many of them would think twice about doing it. And just in case anybody came in a bit late, I think this, yes it is, it's Shivambalana. He is feeding on the carcass at the moment. His sister Shivinzi is actually sitting just to the right of where he is. Are we able maybe just to pan across? Apparently just a few people have come in. Don't think they've seen Shivinzi yet. And Karula's just behind the bush for us. Oh no, it is Shivambalana there, so it is Shivinzi up the tree. Wasn't paying full attention at who went into the tree. So that's Shivambalana, so it was actually Shivinzi feeding off the carcass. Oh, look at the leopard paw. Are we able to just have a close-up on his paw? And hi Ruth, over there in Kentucky. I'm just trying to remember what the question was that Mark sent through. If Mark can just send it through again for me. Ah, that was it. Yeah. Is there ever a point where the carcass, the meat becomes too rotten for them to feed off of it? And they do have extremely strong stomachs. I mean, they're extremely acidic. So any bacteria or anything like that will be destroyed pretty quickly. So the answer to that is probably not. And it depends, obviously, on how hungry they are, how large the carcass is, and that will dictate how long that carcass will be left to feed on. But if they're hungry enough, then they will stay until the last scraps. If they're having quite a good time of it, if they having opportunities to hunt. I mean, we've seen Karula hunt on a couple of occasions where she's actually pulled a couple of animals. We had a steenbok and a daker in two different trees, and she obviously just had the opportunity to kill and eat both. So she started on the Steenbok, I think, first. Or it could have been, no, it was the Deka, sorry. She started eating the Deka, and then when that was finished, the Steenbok went up another tree, and she went to eat the Steenbok after that. And the Steenbok was a good couple of days old before she even started feeding on it. She almost, well, as I say, took the opportunity and put it into a larder almost. And we've seen that last year with the baby impala. She'll kill a couple sometimes and put them in the tree. And depending on how hungry she is, she might completely demolish one and then save one until she's ready to feed. Or she might eat both. She might be hungry enough to eat both straight away. But certainly with the two cubs, she's trying to hunt as much as possible. And she slowed down a little bit. Certainly when she was well, the cubs were much younger. And she seemed to eat her fill and then go off and start hunting almost immediately, leaving the cubs with the kill. But she seems to be slowing down slightly, and it could be because the cubs are starting to catch a little bit more of their own food. That's the thing with the predators, they never know when the next meal's coming, so they will be opportunistic. And I do wonder if she put the kill in the tree last night, possibly because of the wind picking up, and maybe she was a little bit more concerned that she wouldn't hear if hyenas were coming or lions were coming. Could be that she was just exhausted from the hunt and she just needed a bit of time to recover from that, and maybe she knew, she feeds on the kill a little bit and the cubs do, then it's going to be a little bit easier to get it in the tree than a full carcass. Putting half a carcass up is going to be slightly easier. And maybe so many reasons, because she doesn't always put the kills in the tree. And she has lost kills in the past to hyena. We've seen in Duna her son losing kills because he hasn't put them in a tree, and I do wonder sometimes maybe it's just slightly heavy for her. He pulled down a young kudu, and I think that at that stage it was a little bit too big for him. And whatever the leopards don't eat, the hyenas, if they have their chance, they will clean it up, regardless of how old it is. Nothing ever goes to waste in the bush, that's one thing for sure. Siobhan Balana, where are you going? Oh, cat stretch. Nice. It's actually got a little bit cloudy again, so it's actually quite a pleasant temperature for them this morning, I think. Interesting question, Dr. Rita. And welcome on board to you this morning. Saying about the leopards getting pretty close to people, and are they able to contract disease from people? And it's not something I've actually thought about. So many viruses, as I'm sure you know, from humans very rarely pass to animals and vice versa. Obviously there are some where it is possible, but very few compared to the amount of viruses and diseases that are out there. So to be honest, I think probably not. I think maybe 1 in a million chance of them contracting something, and it would have to be possibly, a very odd disease or virus. There's nothing that really springs to mind where they could actually catch. I mean, primates possibly. Primates, possibly a baboon if they came too close. Might. But even so, again, the diseases that they catch tends to be from other animals. Sometimes the carcasses that they eat. Obviously rabies being one of those viruses. And many animals could catch, and even humans. That's one of the things that we humans do share with some of the rest of the animal kingdom. I mean, bovine TB is different to the human form. Canine distemper, especially in the lions and the wild dog. That's how the lions actually caught it, was from dogs in the surrounding villages. That's how it actually spread into the populations. Same with the bovine TB, actually came in from cattle around the 1950s up in the north. Spread through into the buffalo, and then from the buffalo to the lions from eating the buffalo with TB. Hyenas as well apparently have contracted it. You don't really hear too much about leopard, but it is possible. I'm trying to think of anything that humans can pass on to domestic cats. If anybody knows of any diseases that can be passed on from humans to domestic cats, that might actually put us in the right ballpark at least. We can maybe have a look to see because obviously leopards and lions being very closely related. If there's a possibility with domestic cats, there could be a possibility with big cats. Well, as much as I don't want to leave them, I'm thinking maybe we go for a little bit of a drive and maybe come back in a bit. Where are you going, Shavinzi? Yes, certainly, I don't know about you, but I think it's certainly a fantastic way to start the weekend, whether you're on Friday night or Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. can hear beaters. There's someone else chattering over there. Who are you? Oh. What are you doing? Hi Randy, over there in Iowa. And thanks again Randy for your designs for Who Dung It. But welcome on board. I'm wondering if any of the big cats are susceptible to feline leukemia. I do seem to remember that could be a possibility. I'm just trying to remember, especially in captive big cats. I'm sure I have heard about big cats having it, but I will have to double check. And feline form of HIV, the FIV.
Texan's trying to raise you up.
Oh, is he? Texan, come in. Sorry, Texan, I have my radio turned down a bit low. You're welcome to come into the sighting. It's just myself and Graham.
Yeah, I'm not copying you. I'm on Bevisuka on the Bevisuka side, sir.
Can you copy me now?
Copying you now.
Yeah, you're welcome to approach. Just myself and Graham. Should we go for a little drive and then we'll come back then? We'll get a few Who Dung It questions in. Here we go up towards Buffalo's Hook Dam and then come down Central and just do a bit of a loop there. See what we can go and find. Maybe see if we can find a tractor cast. I'd love to try and find one of Karula, but they've just been all over this area and it's not really given too many decent tracks. I'm gonna go anyway. Back to front, Central, and then come down. Stations leaving the lock of Ingwe, same place. A little bit of a loop. back to them. So I think it sounds like there's not too many vehicles out and about today. And they are starting to slow down and relax a little bit. That's always the difficulty, and I must admit, you know, half of you just wants to stay put and see what's going on, and then half of you thinks, well, what is going on elsewhere? There isn't too many vehicles out and about, so there could be, I don't know, cheetah walking down Cheetah Good Line, or there could be an elephant, or there could be, you know, something else going on. That's always the difficulty. I'd love to actually be able to split myself in half, so half stay there and the other half go and have a look, see what else is going on. And I think with them just starting to settle down, say little Shambhalana walked off into the bush on the other side of the road by the looks of it, Karula just out of sight. Out for a few questions along the way. So I hope you've got your thinking caps on. See how we go. If there's any more questions that have come through in the meantime. Ooh, that wind's picking up. What? Aha. Beneficial. Ah, much better. The ears are warm now. See, my thermometer actually says just below 10 degrees. It said 5 degrees this morning, and I definitely didn't feel that it was 5 degrees. What was the question from Arizona? Who was from Arizona? Oh. Oh. Are you able to get them, or are they fine? Yeah, if you could send them through. So zoonoses are some of the diseases that the humans can pass on to cats. That's Ginny and Virginia. Oh, too high. Oh, share. Bucalosis. There's 2 bateleurs in the sky and two yellow-billed storks in the sky. Over too high. Yeah. Toxoplasmosis, bacterial enteritis, and skin problems. Ah, yeah, skin problems. Ringworm, I suppose, would be one of them. And of course, rabies. What was the other one? Tuberculosis, TB. So the human and feline can share TB. It's quite interesting. As I say, the bovine strain is not shared with humans, but it can be shared with animals. Maybe we're just a step away from it actually evolving. Yeah, shared. So thanks, Ginny. I thought there were some, but I just couldn't think of what they would be. But going on to big cats, I'd say the rabies certainly. Yeah. Thanks, Cindy. Usually diseases are species specific. A lot of them are, but as I say, there are some that get passed on. So remember, well, with primates, I think they are able to catch a cold. They're actually able to catch either flu or cold. I forget which one it is now. From humans. Scratch fever, I've never heard of that. Apparently that can be passed on from cats to humans. Who was that, sorry? Jody. Thanks, Jody, over there in New Mexico, saying cat scratch fever can be passed on. I've never heard of that one. As much as I wanted to be a cat owner, I never was when I was younger. I was rabbits and dogs, so that side of things I didn't really get to know. Although I always wanted a cat. I was the only one in my family that did want a cat. Let's check out this junction. Hi Linda. Linda asked me about Minana from Londolozi. Have I ever heard of her? And yes, I have. And they also called her the Queen. I think it's a very fitting name. Oh, I think we have a question here. Which will be this one. If I put alongside, maybe you can just hold the camera off the edge. Get a little bit closer. So I think, wasn't that the eye of the leopard? Londolozi, Minana? Is that not the eye of the leopard? Which one is that?
The name of the leopard? In Eye of the Leopard?
Yeah.
No, it's her name is
But that was from...
Lacedema.
And what was it? Macadema.
Lacedema.
Lacedema. But that was from where? That was
Eye
from...
of the Leopard, and that was from northern Botswana.
Oh, that was northern Botswana. Oh, okay. I'm getting programs. But I have heard of her, Linda. And apparently she had 6 sets of cubs, was that? So I think it was 6 sets of cubs. But also I think she was quite a successful lady, but she has passed away. I think she got to be quite a ripe old age. 8 or 9 sets of cubs, so she did extremely well. And I think that there's some individuals out there that just do extremely well, and then there's others like Antima that just don't do very well, and it could be a combination of factors. The fact that there are different leopards crossing over into her territory. A few male leopards. It's not as stable. It could be the environment. It could be the amount of prey. It could be anything that dictates how successful a leopard is, as well as the personality. But let's have a look at question number 1 for the day. So get your thinking caps on. Okay, are you able to see this one? Got brilliant light. This is the one here. centimetres. Quite rounded along the edge. You can see that, so it's quite a rounded track. It does have a groove down the middle there. So, side of it, the other side of it. So there's not really any other tracks really that are nice to show you. So that is the best
But
one.
that one is better. That one is coming out better.
This one.
Yes.
This one's very, very old. You can see very, very rounded, and it's been spread out quite a lot. So I'm not going to give you the size, but it's the same. It'll be the same animal. But if you can see inside the track, very rounded, and then you've got this deep groove in the middle. So a lot of it has blown away because of the wind. It's a very old track. And because this is quite thick sand as well, when the animal went in, it displaced it quite a lot. So obviously did something like that, it just makes the track so much more larger than this track. Think of what you see here. We're just by Gary Dam. Have a think of what animals you see here. Have a think at the size, and say about 16 or 17 centimetres. So quite a large track, and have a look at what the detail is. And say this deep groove down the middle will hopefully rule out a particular animal that you might get it mixed up with, and be quite round. So it's quite a round track. And this animal, I think, was on his own. So it doesn't look like there was any others with him, but it could have well have been. So if you'd like to play along, questions@juma.com, send your answers through, subject, title, put your name and what animal you think it is. Let's see who comes back with the right answers first. Good. Let's do central then. Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, okay. I'm hoping everyone got that. Apparently there's a lot of wind around it. Last station, sorry, do you have a lock on quarantine? So, I wonder how people are doing with the Dung quiz. And you can join me on a few of the drives and try and see how your score goes. We'll see if anybody has beaten the 73% and the 75% that Binky and Cheryl Ann got last time. That was out of 16 questions, so we've got quite a lot more questions this time. Let's see how everybody did. What have we got here? This is not good. Okay. I have one that I can actually cast. hopefully cast for Anton. So for those people that may have missed the casting process, I think let's do this because then that kills 2 birds with 1 stone. So, have we got 6 answers, Mark? While, because I would also like to do this one as well. Jules, David, well done. Getting the right answer. Bets, well done, Bets. Psycho Susie, good to hear from you. Well done. Jewel and Faye. Well done, everybody, for getting the correct answer. Was there any wrong answers there, Mark? Hippo, zebra, rhino. Okay. So quickly, why was it not rhino and hippo? Here we go. So, hippo, having 4 toes, looks completely different to what we were seeing. So the hippo have 4 toes, quite large. I mean, you're looking at about 20 centimetres or more. You're looking quite a large track, larger than this book for some of them, or just roughly about the same size for others, but definitely large track. Rhino, got the 3 toes, and again quite a big back pad here. So that's the hippo and the rhino, and actually you can see this is the white rhino and this is the black rhino. And the white rhino, you don't have as big a gap between the toes, and the toes are quite large, much larger on the white rhino. And even though they've done a groove on the back here of the black rhino, it is a deeper groove than the white rhino is supposed to be. This one's the wrong one. This one's not supposed to be as deep a groove as that on the black. But I've yet to actually see a black rhino track. I've only ever seen it in pictures and in the sand. So I've not actually seen it for myself, but they are smaller than the white rhino. But these are definitely the things to look out for. This huge gap between the side and the front toes. So that's the rhinos. And zebra, which is the one I thought might come up. The zebra. Zebra, just like the horse, the zebra have got this arc, which is obviously what it looked like, but the deep groove doesn't go all the way in. It's just this little frog at the back, and half the time you don't even see this. You just see this nice round section, just like the horse. So they don't have that groove separating it. So what was it? It was cloven hoofed. I can get to the right page. That's the one. It was the cloven hoofed. And it was the African buffalo. See, very round in appearance. Almost looks like kidney shapes. Now, unfortunately, that track that I was showing you wasn't showing all of the deep groove, but that's why I was showing you where it was. Some buffalo tracks you do get this very clear distinction here. That one, you just get a little bit of a line through the middle. I say it does depend on the substrate. You don't always see these. In fact, you very rarely see these. If the substrate's very deep, like mud, then you'll see the false hooves, if you like. So there you go. That is the buffalo, and that is what the correct answer was. Cool. So this is going to be question number 2. And hopefully you'll be able to see quite nicely, but for those of you who missed the casting, let's do it now, and hopefully you can have a look. It's very quick, very easy, and what I'll do is I'll leave it and then we'll come back a bit later once it's dried. Cool.
Some done.
That's the best one. Okay. It's too small.
Okay, choke first, huh?
This one here? Yep. How are we doing? So here we go. This is the track, and I do have my ear piercing mark, so you can send through answers. So this is the track here. You can see the back pad quite nicely here. You can see it has sort of smudged slightly, but this is the back pad. So it'd have two lobes here, and then you've got one toe, two toes, three toes, four toes, and you should be able to see this very nicely. There's the claw mark just there, and then the claws on the front two a little bit smudged, but they're just right on the tip there, and then there's another claw mark there. So sometimes, especially with the substrate, if it's quite fine, like sand, when the claws go in, sometimes when they pull them away, the sand actually collapses, and that's why you get these little points rather than actual claw marks like this. But you can see this one was a little bit more stable, so that's why you got the claw mark quite nicely there. So it's just, as I'm looking at it, there's a few bits inside the track, but just for those people who haven't seen how to do the casting, it's still quite a good track to show you, because it's quite clear. So while I'm starting to do all this, again, questions at juma.com to send in your answers. This is your second tracking question. Needed to find some more dung, actually. I'm a bit low on the dung, but I'm going to try and see if I can actually make, because you can see the little bits of pipe which we usually use. It's going to be a little bit too small, so I'm just going to try and make a frame with bits of stick, just to show you what to do. I just need one more bit of stick. Is there a bit of stick by you, Seb? Yeah, I can just use. It's not going to be aesthetically pleasing, but at least we get the right idea. So you put your, hopefully, piece of pipe in. I've yet to find a big piece. And you just put some sand up around the bank, just to stop the plaster going all over the place. So you kind of just seal it off. Put that in there, seal that one off as well. So there you go. And then one thing I always forget to do, and this is probably one of the most important, to fix the track. So especially if it's in sand, you don't want the sand to be blowing away. So use hairspray to actually fix the track and stop that happening. So just cover it like that. There we go. And then the next important thing is talcum powder, and this actually stops the cast from sticking too much to the sand. So once you pull the cast away, it won't pull all the sand away. You can actually then wash it off. So also very important. And I still haven't got the knack of actually doing it like Anton does. But these things you can get in art shops. They're just little blowers, and you just put the talcum powder in, and then you can actually just spray. Yeah, I think he's actually taken all of that. Let's see if I can actually do it. It takes quite a while to actually get the talcum powder in. This is how you do it. and put as much in there as possible. But I mean, this is something you can do at home, whether you want to cast your cat's track or your dog's track. Say nice, just any muddy or sandy area is perfect for it. And the clearer the track, the clearer it's going to be on your cast. So this one wasn't as clear as I thought it was going to be, but just to show you, I'll try and work with the wind here. So the trick is not to spray it directly. You see, I'm not as as seasoned as Anton. Oh, there he goes. Let's say it's a good job it's not a brilliant track. There we go. Starting to get the hang of it now. So yeah. Did I get a little bit on the lens there? And then the next step is the plaster of Paris. And again, you can just get it in any art shop. And a bit of water. And again, you just want to just decide how much plaster you're going to use. So I'm just going to put a bit of water in there. And there's no real measuring at all. The easiest way is you just start adding the plaster into the water. And once you get to the stage where the plaster stops sinking, and when you start putting, or if you can shake the tub a little bit, you can just about see the water rising, then that's the time to stop putting the plaster in. See, it's slowly getting there. You can see it's actually taking a little bit longer to sink. So the casting of a track with Anton should be on the archives. I haven't actually checked. So very, very quick, easy process, and the more you do it, the less time it takes. Because I always thought, oh, it's going to take quite a long time to do it. You can see, yeah, there's still a little bit more to go. But I think the rough measurement is 1 part water, 2 parts plaster of Paris. You see, we're almost getting there. Just a little bit more. It. I think we're almost there. You can see it's just really starting to take quite a while to sink. That's it. I think we're done. So the next stage is just to pour it in. I'm just going to use the side of my other tube. What I was using, and what I found was actually working quite nicely, was the top of the bottle. So I cut this bottle piece off and actually just run the plaster of Paris down the side of it. You can use a spoon or something like that just to actually guide the plaster in, and it's not going to destroy the track. So if I can actually just guide the plaster in there, you can see it's just running down the side of the tube, and as I say, it doesn't destroy the track then. As I say, the back of a teaspoon works, the bottle. Just put a little bit in there, that's it. And that's it, you just leave it to set. So we'll go for a bit of a drive around Buffelshoek. I'm sure it's not going to go anywhere. I don't think anything's going to stand in it. And we'll come back and collect it. Just get rid of that. Just to make sure it's all buried, not leaving anything behind. There you go, and that's it. That's all there is to it. As I say, I've yet to master the art of putting the baby powder in there. So, about 20 minutes or so, it should be dry. So let's wander up to Buffelshoek Dam, have a look, see if there's anything around there, or at least maybe on Cheetah Cook Line. There's some dung there that I want to show you, so it's going to be your next question if I don't find anything else along the way. So it should take about 20 minutes, so we'll drive past here at some stage and come and collect it. We good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Coffee, tea or me? Coffee, tea or me? There you go. How long did that take us? About what? 10 minutes, if that? Very quick, very easy. And when you do get the hang of it, so you can have really nice tracks. I have to bring a couple on drive that I actually did, but there's some very nice tracks in sand, and they turned out extremely well. Longer for the track to set in this weather. So we'll have to see. Do we get any answers through Mark? Also, oh, have you turned the internal mic off? Yeah, okay.
Better now.
You've got the 6 back to the right. So much worse, much worse. first 6 back with the right answer. Jack, sumac. Well done, Jack and sumac. First and second place. Gilly, third place. Sherilyn in fourth place. Well done. Virginia and Jenny. Virginia, Jenny and Deborah. No? Oh, it's Virginia. Virginia is Ginny. Okay, so Virginia is Ginny and Deborah. I was thinking, hold on a minute. So well done, 5th and 6th position. So what were the wrong answers that came back? Ow. Lion and leopard. Aha. Okay, so why was it not lion or leopard? One of the big things is that lion and leopard are true cats, so you find 3 lobes in the back pad. So where I was showing you there was 2 lobes in true cats. Cheetah, lion, leopard, caracal, African wildcat, domestic cat, all of them have 3 lobes in the back of the track. Whereas true dogs actually have 2. If you check your dog at home, it has 2 lobes. Just like this animal, although just to confuse matters, it is closely related to cats. That's where you can get a little bit mixed up. So this relative of the cats also shows its claws, whereas the true cats sheath their claws. They sheath their claws. You don't really get the claws showing. Ooh, gardenia flowers. I think Mark wanted to show them the other day. Just to show that one there. Start looking out for the fruits as well. Huge fruits. They're actually almost like orange, normal orange size, but they're green with grey spots. And apparently there is a medicinal use. You take the roots and you get the ash. If you set fire to the roots and you get the ash, you can put it on the chest. It's thought to help with pneumonia. Actually, let me just go and grab a leaf, because the leaves are actually quite distinctive. It's quite a pretty leaf. So, unfortunately this one split as I took it off, but it's almost sort of got this little kink to it. If I can hold it there for you. But it's almost, as I say, curved, has this little depression. There we go. So when it actually is attached to the tree, you'll see they do have this little depression. A beautiful round leaf. And I've only ever met one quail in my life. It was a type of tree up in the Waterberg. And for a long time I actually got mixed up with the quail and the gardenia, because the quail looks also very similar, but what it didn't have, or what it did have, what the gardenia didn't have, is a petiole, and the petiole is a little stalk, so some of the leaves will actually attach straight onto the tree like this. It doesn't have, you know, a long part to the leaf, and that's one of the ways you can actually identify trees, is looking for this what's called a petiole. And some trees have a petiole, or some leaves have a petiole, some don't. And for a long time I actually thought it was the other way around, so I thought the gardenia was this coir tree. Bucirax, so I forget what the second part of it is, but Bucirax, I have to try and get the Latin name for you again, but very odd tree. I say I only knew one specimen on the property that I used to work in. The leaves did look fairly similar. P-S-Y-A-X. Syax. Is it Syax? Could be an R in there. Come on, Gunda Gunda. Yeah, I always thought, oh, I've got to remember that tree's name for Scrabble. Never once have remembered to use it when I have been playing Scrabble. I suppose you're not really allowed names, are you?
Yeah, I just wanna check around if you
So I'll try and get that. Yeah, I'm trying to listen to the radio. So I have to try and get the Latin name for you. It's been a long time since I've used that one. Just posted it on Facebook. So it was always confused me between that and the gardenia. We didn't have many gardenias on the property. Yeah, Google doesn't know what a coir What was the right answer for the track? As I say, it wasn't lion, it wasn't leopard. There was two things there that pointed it in the direction of the hyena. The two lobes in the back pad and the claws, but also those half moon shaped toes. That's what it was. It was this spotted hyena. So I couldn't show you small track, the back track, just because there was no real nice one to show you. But usually you can see a big size difference between the front and back pad. So that was the front track we were looking at. Quite a large size, but the cat's toes tend to be quite oval and not as close to the back pad as the toes were on the hyena. Those little half moon shapes are the ones to look out for. And one of the reasons why I didn't get tracking level 3, and that's why I wasn't too concerned, because I actually forgot one day that we had cheetah on the property. And we've been doing tracking all day. And I looked at this track and I thought, I can't think of what it is. And we'd already done hyena. Now, it's just the same as what I'm doing with you. You can have the same question. So I thought, well, we've already had hyena, but it looks like it's hyena to me. I thought, well, yeah, that's all I can think of it. And it was forgotten. My brain was saying, but it's not hyena, but I just could not put the finger on it what it was. So we've been out in the sun, and I was hungry and I was tired, and I pulled a very big blonde moment, and unfortunately that did cost me level 3. I just missed it. There was obviously a couple of other questions, and it was actually after that, because I went down here, I got all of them right, and then I started going downhill towards the end of the afternoon, and that cost me dearly, but it turned out to be cheetah. And believe me, I'm kicking myself because I know all these rules, and I know what cheetah tracks look like, and that's what my brain was saying, but it's not hyena. But my brain just couldn't think of what it was. So we do make mistakes. And believe me, I was kicking myself. And even the assessor, it was Lee, so looked at me, it was like, you just pulled the biggest blonde moment this afternoon on yourself. But yes, what can you do? Anyway, let's keep an eye on the time, because I would like to head back towards the cooler and the pubs if we can. In case there's anybody who's just joined us. I'm going to make a detour, because Mark did show me some dung that I would like to show you as well. And I'll give you a few clues, because this is a little bit unfair, because I haven't shown this dung to you before. Maybe we could do it as a bonus question. There we go, we'll do it as a bonus question. So it is a little bit unfair. Let's see if anyone can think outside the box. Jojo, good morning to you. And certainly it's been quite an interesting one with the hyenas, and we're still trying to work out what's going on, whether floppy ear, I'm not convinced she was pregnant. I think maybe she just looked big, maybe for a meal, or maybe she was just swollen. I'm not convinced she was pregnant or was given birth, but I could be wrong. The birthing interval is quite short. I'm convinced that she still has the cubs there, and just because we haven't seen her go there doesn't mean to say she hasn't been going there. We've just maybe not been there when she has gone there. But Jojo wants to know about the interaction with the baboon and the hyena and whether we've been back. Because remember, we had one of the mums moving a cub. It turned out not to be Teddy's mum, and Sebastian's pretty clued up on the hyena mums in that regard. And she had a scar on the back of her, and Teddy's mum doesn't have as much fur on her body as this female did. So there it is. Turn around. So yeah, Jojo wants to know if we've been back to the hyena den, and what's basically going on. So this new hyena mother was seen carrying what they thought was a cub. Possibly was, and it was possible that when the baboons were there, she was actually going to go back and get the second cub. But we don't know if she was there. We've been a couple of times since then. We haven't seen any movement around there. It could just be that she was just hiding. But I would like to try and go there again. Huh? What? Huh? You got a what, sorry? Oh. The wind. Little male steenbok. Quite an old male steenbok. Look at the size of the horns compared to his ears. Possibly the one we saw chasing the female the other day. Yeah. Got a bit of a fright. The wind just picked up as well. Realised it'd been made. We'd seen it. This is it. I can't believe I haven't seen it before. Although I've not really driven down Cheetah Cut Line, I've usually driven up, so maybe that's why I haven't seen it. But there we go, we've got a midden down here. And I'm not going to go and pick it up, so that should help you. So this is a bonus question, so this will make up for maybe one that you've missed or one that you've got wrong, should I say. So this isn't going to be part of the Dung quiz, so if you get it wrong, it doesn't go into the total. But for anybody that can get it right, this will make up for a question that you've got wrong. So have a look. Look, there's a lot of seeds and berries, and it is a midden. This animal is nocturnal, so we don't see it very often. In fact, I don't know if we've actually seen one. I don't think I've definitely not seen one on drive. But we have seen the tracks a few times. And I'll go and stand next to it. And this is actually this was actually one of the next questions after that whole cheetah episode. And luckily I knew that what this one was. I actually got this one right. But this is, let's say, a midden, and surprisingly large dung for the size of the animal. So that may mislead you or not, but it is surprisingly large. So it's almost like lion size, and this particular animal is definitely not lion size, not even leopard size. But it's not only eating seeds and berries, it'll eat rodents and lizards, things like that. Beautiful looking animal there. And I say quite large, hopefully you can see. Let me just take a measurement of one of those pieces. Because let's say it's quite a funny one. So 18 centimetres, so it's that long. 18 centimetres, so it's that long by 3, so it's about that wide. That's pretty big. So anyway, we shall carry on. So that's your bonus question. If you don't get it right, don't panic. It won't be part of the total. So far we've had the 2 questions, the tracking questions, the buffalo and the hyena. This is a bonus question because we haven't really done that before. And thanks to Mark for pointing it out on drive the other day. Quite an interesting one. Such a shame we don't have brown hyena here. We can have a lot of fun with the pasting as well. But the spotted, I haven't smelt the spotted pasting. Hello, giraffe. So everyone's keeping into the bush a lot more because it is slightly warmer in there. It's going to be sheltered from the wind. push you off forward just a little bit so we're getting through the gap. You might actually just walk out in front of us. Hello, beautiful boy. Look at those horns, or ossicones. Look how thick they are. And you can see right on top, very little hair. There you go, you can see on top there, baldy. And that'll be through fighting. And those ossicones, they do need to be very robust, because they do use the head to strike their opponent. And because of that, the fur wears down. There's another male at the back. Yeah, he is. He's going to come across the road, I think. Oh, he's scratching. Let me try and move forward. This is so funny to actually see a giraffe scratch underneath his leg. Can you see past the tree there? You see how he's standing? Look at that. He's walked right over that branch. So if you ever wondered how a giraffe scratches underneath his leg, that's how they do it. They walk over the branches. And sometimes you actually see them sort of, you know, scratch themselves backwards and forwards. And I've seen rhino do that as well. They'll actually walk over some of the smallest of trees to get in those hard to reach spots. Yep, we're talking about you. Through a bush willow. You're going to walk out in front of us, mister. We can see you in all your glory. Nope, I think I'll just stand here and chew the cud. I'm just going to try and move forward a little bit more. If you look, hopefully if he stays put, if you look at his cheeks, you'll see they're all puffed out. That's when he chews the cud, just like when a cow regurgitates his food and re-chews it. That's exactly what the giraffe is doing now. And when they puff the cheeks out, oh, I think he just found a log or something. Oh, and there's some zebra also mixed in. It's the Rothschild giraffe that actually have two lumps behind the horns. There come the zebra. Having breakfast with the giraffe. And again, you may think, how on earth can stripes help, just like with the spots, but look at how well camouflaged those zebra are, and if they stand still, it's very difficult to actually work them out from the vegetation. You know, I just noticed them because one of them actually started moving, otherwise they just blend in. Our giraffe's popped out. Should we just roll down a little bit further? I think the zebra might just follow him. See what they're watching. Might just make their way towards Bufflesuck Down. I think they're going to take the time, but pan that they're going to. Quite dry. Oh, I am a little bit skew, eh? Horizon's falling off the screen. We're now at Guari Pan. While I'm moving, I'm just going to pull back a little bit because this other giraffe might just come out and follow them. It's almost as if they're checking in and say, "Hey mate, the coast's clear." It's actually a little bit more sheltered here too. It's gotta be so irritating having a bird stuck to your face and jumping all around. And any wonder they do get a little bit irritated and they shake them off. You can see, look, going straight for the eye. Now, it's not actually going for the eye, it's going for the discharge that comes out of the eye. See, these boys haven't really done too much fighting. They have done a fair bit, but as they get older, more and more lumps start to form on the head. The calcium deposits. And you will find, especially this time of year, giraffes eating bone to make sure they have enough calcium in their diet. And that's the norm for porcupines and kudu. Maybe other animals that you wouldn't have thought would eat bones. They don't actually eat the meat, they just go for the clean bones. And the giraffe are actually very funny when you see them eating bone. They pick up a piece from the ground, and they'll usually pick up a piece they can take with them, because again they're going to be quite vulnerable when they put the head down. So they'll pick up a piece, small piece, a very flat piece, or a small knuckle or something like that, and they can chew it with the molars at the back of the mouth. And because it's at the back of the mouth, let's say they pull these funny faces, and I've seen giraffe where it looks like they're almost suffocating themselves with this bone. Then they'll push it to the front of the mouth and turn it around, and then push it to the back of the mouth and grind it a little bit. And they'll maybe take it a few kilometres, or they maybe chew it as they walk sometimes. Oh, it's a bit clumsy, this one. Doesn't have a lot of coordination going on. Shall we head up towards Buffelshoek Dam? I started to run down on time. Pick up Pools Road, see what we can go and find up there. Have we had any answers yet, Mark? $253,000. Wow. Oh, I thought you were telling the truth then. A lot of people guessing. Honey badger, aardvark came back. Janet. Bush baby, wow. Bush baby. I really would be worried if that's what they were pushing out. Okay, so those are the ones that did come back. Well done for trying. So Raisa came back with the correct answer. Penny, Bets, Daisy, Susie, and Nathaniel. Well done. Well done. Well, at least everyone was coming back with nocturnal animals, so that's a start. Aardvark, very difficult to find aardvark dung, and you get a lot of sand, and it tends to be where they've been digging the burrows. So I'll have to have a look around if we do find an aardvark hole. See if we can have a look. If there's any fresh diggings, we can have a look for some dung there actually. So you get a lot of sand, and because they eat ants and termites, you'll find a lot of little parts of the chitin, from the outer part of the ants and termites that they eat. So you find a lot of those exoskeleton, the hard parts that are not as easily digestible as the body parts. So you'll find that, and the dung tends to be about this sort of size. So very sandy. Janet, much smaller. Janet looking more like the cat shape. Roughly about the same size as the cat, but as I was saying, when I was saying that's what I thought, it might just lead you down the wrong path, because the Janet a little bit too small to make dung that size, but the animal that did it isn't a million miles away from the Janet. Bush baby, definitely too large for the bush baby. In fact, the dung is probably larger than the bush baby. Just to put into a bit of perspective there. So, who dung it? It was the masked nocturnal animal the African civet. The African civet. Omnivores. So I can show you a picture now. Body-wise, the length of them is probably about that long, without the tail, so just the body itself. Black mask across the face, black and white body, beautiful looking animal. Stands probably from the dashboard about that high. I'd say much smaller than the leopard. We're having a drinks break, so we won't stop. I'm going to disturb them. Too much happening around. Right out of the way here. Just show you a picture quickly. Ooh, hello. There we go, African civet. It's a beautiful looking animal. So what does it say? About 1 meter 20, 1 meter 40 centimeters. That's the length of it, and shoulder height about 40 centimeters. Yeah, so you can see beautiful spots and stripes. Beautiful looking animal. And they actually do have a special name for the midden, civet tree. Civet tree, so that's basically what we were seeing there is a civet tree. They do also have the gland, the cheek gland, just like the cats, so you will often see them rolling around, rubbing themselves, just like the cats do. Ooh, hello. See it? One for the birders. Oh. Oh well. Huh? Can you still see it?
Yeah. Go forward. That tree there.
You can see from here. Oh, I got a bird feeding party going on here actually. Southern black tits. What else have we got? Drongos. Ah! Wood hoopoo. Are you able to get the... Oh, there he is. So, birders. Name the bird. But I just saw a Sept to build. There he is. Wood hoopoo. Can you see the two at the right at the back there? Just past the acacia. Bobbing around. They'll be... Where are they? Yeah, they're in that tree there. You see the dark ones? Yeah, there. He just flew off. There, yeah. Much thinner bill than the red billed or the green wood hoopoo. Sept to build wood hoopoos. Probably the first time I've seen them on camera actually. I saw one the other day around by FC. Very nice. Very, very nice. Questions at juma.com for the woodpecker.
Just said the name.
Huh?
Just said the name.
Yeah, well, it's easy to see it's a woodpecker. But which one? Hi, Jean. Gilly Jean. Wanting to know if both males and females have the bony protrusions on their heads. And they do, but the males get more because of the fighting. So where the females don't fight, so they don't build up these calcium deposits. So if you look at a very old bull, you'll see he's very lumpy on his head and all around this front part. Say the Rothschild has the two, you can see the bumps at the back of the southern giraffe, which is what these are, but the Rothschild, the larger. But the females, as I say, they have that protrusion on the front, but there's nothing else. It's usually smaller than the males as well. Again, because of the fighting the males do. Say giraffe horns, we call them horns, but they're ossicones. They're not made like the other horns. They're not made from, well, they don't have keratin. They actually have a skin layer over them and a fur on top. And they're actually one of the few animals, probably the only animal, that's actually born with the horns. They're just flat against the head when the baby giraffe's born, and then over the next day or so they start to stand up and then they fuse to the skull. That's why you have baby giraffe with such big horns. A bit odd. So that's one way of telling different giraffe species, as well as the pattern on the giraffe, where the pattern ends on the legs. Who is that from? Joe. Hi Jojo again. And just picking up on what we were saying about the giraffes eating bone, and how else do animals get minerals? Actually have the cows with the salt licks. And some animals will actually eat soil, geophagy. And actually bone eating is osteophagy. So it's actually the calcium and phosphorus in the bone. So phosphorus is also another important mineral. So they'll get the phosphorus from that during the harsh times, especially like the winter time. Say other animals also eat bone. But the geophagy also for minerals. And it's quite funny when you see a rhino. They'll actually lick, or not lick, but they'll suck the top of a termite mound sometimes, like a lollipop. That is going to be quite nutritious, that soil, from the termites. Having, especially the fungus-growing termites, having fungus gardens underneath, and the fungus actually releasing the nutrients from whatever vegetation the termites use to cultivate the fungus. So there'll be, oh, okay. And I remember a very famous segment on one of the BBC documentaries with David Attenborough, and he was sitting and they had a camera inside a cave. And the elephants actually made their way into the cave, and it was pitch black. And the elephants knew exactly where they were going, and they were actually going to the special site because of the minerals that were in the rock. So animals do supplement their diet as and when it's needed with these different sites and with different or other material. know of macaws over in South America also going to clay, there's a particular soil, it's clay soil, and they'll actually eat that as well, also gaining minerals, but I think it also helps to reduce the effects of toxic plants that they might eat as well. Also very interesting how animals supplement the diets like that. So we got some answers for the birdie, for the woodpecker. 2 bearded woodpeckers, 1 bennet and 1 cardinal. Sure, a bit of a mixed bag there, bit of a mixed bag. Let's see, just quickly show you. Here's the woodpeckers. So the things to look for on the woodpeckers is, first of all, the crown. Okay, this is. I'll show you these ones. Yes. So the crown, and what's going on with the breast, and what's going on with the stripe here. The malar stripe. And that's the 3 things to really look for with the woodpeckers. Now if anyone got a screen cap, that might actually help us, because I saw this bright red, so immediately it takes out the female cardinal. And we do have some others on here, but then you do have the bennets is spotted on the front, that's the female, so I didn't see the spotted on there, so that takes the female bennets out. The male bennets, okay, it was quite a lot of green, but I actually saw some other colour here and I thought it was green, so someone might be able to help me with that one. But what I did see also is very, very black from the eye and also under the throat. So I think we can rule out the bennets, but the cardinal and the bearded could be the possibility. But as I say, I thought I saw green. Oh, is my hat in the way? I thought I saw green also, which would put this guy. But did anyone see the breast, if it was very streaked or not? So I must admit I was too busy looking at the Sept to build wood hoopoo. By the time I came back, he'd flown off. As I say, I did see the dark. This is also quite dark though. But the size-wise, I'm going for the cardinal, but if somebody did have the screen cap, it wasn't the golden-tailed. So if someone did get the screen cap, then we can just double check on that. But size-wise, and with that green, with the green at the front, we'll put it as the cardinal woodpecker. But you can see all very similar. So those are the things to look for: is the crown, the breast, and the malar stripes. That generally helps. Okay, how are we doing for time? Oh, 1:45. Not good. Got distracted. We'll make our way up Ruby Road. Grab our track on the way through. I'll see if it's dry yet. Should be. The kingfisher there. Okay, I'm just going to jump out. Can you see the track from here? I'll just pull back a little bit. I'm going to jump out and just have a quick check. Ow! With that debris, which I did think it was going to be a bit of a problem, but hopefully it just goes to show. So you can see it does, the sand does still come away, but it comes off a lot more easily without it, believe me. Because I did actually forget the talcum powder one day, and the sand just stuck to the cast, but you can see it's coming off very, very easily, very nicely. But hopefully you can actually see some of the details. So you can see the half moon shapes here, you can see that back pad, and then you can see the other half moon shape. But there was a lot of debris in here, and I kind of put too much talcum powder in this side, so you can see that it does actually make a difference. But you can kind of get the idea though.
You sure that's on the back pad at the top there?
Sorry? No, that's where I...
Is that one of the toes?
Yeah, that's
like
where I
two
put...
toes together?
No, that's one toe, and this was the other toe, but I poured... I tried to do the talcum powder, but put too much in there. There you go, but that's the back pad there. But you can see how close these toes come to the back pad here as well. So there you go. Not the world's greatest, but at least it gives you an idea. Hence why I needed Anton with me. But I am getting there. As I say, there was a lot of debris in those two toes, and that's why it is important to get a nice clean track. When I stopped, it did look nice, but when we got there a little bit closer, it was a little bit damaged. Definitely, the more practice you get, the better you do get at it, as Anton said. Is there any station with you where... So you're breaking up, confirm it was an open lock? Okay. Apparently there's a couple of screenshots there, but apparently the stream is a little bit dodgy this morning, so I think that's why it's been oh, okay, now that makes sense. A few people are saying about the focus because the picture is blurred. It's nothing to do with the camera, so it is actually something to do with the stream. That's why it looks like the focus is out, but actually the focus is fine. It's something to do with the stream. Ah, okay, now I understand. So from what I saw on the size of it, to me it was a cardinal woodpecker. I had this wonderful time actually with cardinal woodpeckers. We had a pair who were making a nest when I was training to be a guide, and there was a dead piece of wood, and the female decided that it would make the perfect nest site, so they actually started work on it and watched them over 2 days making the nest site. And the male and the female both took turns. It was beautiful to watch. So the female had the black crown, male with the sorry, not the black crown. She's got red with black, I think, and he's got the red with the green. She could be all red, I forget now. But he's got that red with the green, and that's why I always remembered that. And that was the thing to look for with the cardinal woodpecker, is that green bit and the red at the back here. I do remember sitting and watching them, and they actually became quite used to the people toing and froing past them. You could actually get pretty close to them. Oh, it's beeping. Oh, okay.
Beeping for a while.
Oh, has it been beeping for a while? Oh.
Since we by the dam there, Gary Dam started.
Oh, really? Oh, sure, I didn't know. Okay, well, we're nearly there at Karula, so we'll head to Karula and say goodbye to her, just in case people didn't have a chance to see her. Sebastian's just saying that the Verta has been beeping for a little while. I wasn't aware of it. So that would account why we had a few different answers there for the woodpecker. Spot to go and lie down for the rest of the day. There's the carcass. There's the cats. Cooler with one of her cubs. Just try and get you past that tree. Just say when you can see her nicely. Huh? There? Yep. Cooler and daughter. Beautiful. Unfortunately, I'm hearing that inverter beeping and beeping and beeping now. It's getting quicker and quicker and quicker, so unfortunately we are going to have to say goodbye, as much as I don't want to. But thank you very much for joining us here this morning, and thank you for your questions and joining in the Dung quiz. So we've got 3 more rounds to go, and we'll see who has got the high scores. Sounds like a few of you have definitely got some high scores this time. So you had 2 questions plus the bonus question this morning, so we'll have to find a few more this afternoon. But for myself, Karula and the family, Sebastian and Mark, we'll see you hopefully this afternoon at 3:30 Central Africa time, so do join us for our live safari then, from here at Djuma Game Reserve in South Africa. Bye everybody.
Good morning, everyone. This is Mark in Final Control. Got a little grey day today with a bit of wind, a little bit chilly. So much for our hot spring weather. But that'll be back soon, and I'm sure so will the sun. Thanks for joining us today, our Saturday morning, and hopefully you'll join us again this afternoon for our PM safari, our live PM safari with Tara and Seb again. That'll be at 3:30 Central African time. Do have a good day, have a good weekend, and we'll see you later. Bye for now.